So here we are back in Zeroville, and as you can see, we did pass a little bit of time. Basically, I just wanted to see if we couldn't force Lacria back into neutrality to get us back to where we were in the last episode. We'll also go ahead and up this moonshine order at the same time. And so basically, they refused, and now they want us to attack them. The issue is they got their reinforcements from Kenna, and they are powerful. I don't think we can take this. So what I've actually decided, I think what we're going to do, we're going to try to take control of the rest of our little region here on our side of the mountains. So that would include Siva and Kriege. And then we're going to probably call it there. We may try to, instead of doing any more map dominance, maybe just see if anybody goes ahead and attacks us. And in the meanwhile, maybe we'll try to increase the amount of peasants that we have, or just the total population, and see how high we can actually push that. So what we're going to do, actually, is we're going to free these prisoners. They're not going to be super useful. However, I want to try and get this attack off on Siva, so that they don't think we're a coward, and so that we can try to add them into our alliance. Same with Kriege. We're going to try to add them as well. But the first thing is that we need to attack Siva. And we're going to go ahead and have Vitamir, Sadwar, and Valid join into this battle. And we'll just add every single other person. Now, as you can see, that is 66 people. We do not have enough weapons for this. We have 43 weapons. So some of these people, I think, hopefully they have daggers. But it is saying we still have good odds. What I want to see, though, is how many of these people do a lot of... Yeah, so they do have daggers, the ones that don't have normal weapons. So this should be okay. We'll have to see just how poorly this goes. I think we can win it. Whether or not we lose a bunch of people is going to be the question here. Now, as well, the trader is going to be here, but Sadibor is not home, so I don't think we're going to be able to get this off in time. Now, we'll just have to see what goes on here. We're going to keep trying with Gorno and Lacria and see if we can't make their relation a little bit better. But I don't think that there's any way that we can take Lacria. And I don't think we really need to. Basically, we've done enough map dominating and other saves and everything like that, so I think on this campaign it's totally fine if we just focus on doing more Varn-like things. Make a good alliance and just make it strong enough that we can't get invaded. I think that's totally fine. Okay, so here we are at Siva, and we're just gonna hop right on in. This may be kind of a difficult battle, but I think we can do it. So let's go ahead and go after this little squad here first. I would like to take out Nebortev first, but that's not going to really work. So we're going to get close, and then we're going to hit this stay in the back. We don't want Vitamir dying if we can help it, and now just run on in. Okay, enemy commander has already surrendered, that is good. One squad down. Now we need to take out Nebortev. He only has a mace. He does have good armor, but he only has the mace. Oh, I didn't even realize Vitamir only has a spear. That's not good. Alright. Going good. There is still a swordsman there. And Nebortev is still going, and now he died. Okay. Nebortev is dead. We still have 50 people. I'm just hoping that we don't actually... I'm just trying to get him to stay in the back. He might end up getting himself killed from all these burns. Hopefully not, but it seems like it's a possibility. Alright, Vitamir is still going. Good stuff. We don't want him to get killed or to get lost. Sometimes they go missing. Still going. This is, what is this? 23 down, it seems like. It's not too bad, all things considered. This is a relatively strong defense, and it looks like we're going to do pretty well on this. 40 people left is doing pretty good, I think. And we lost 12. Considering we had, what was it, 24 or so that had just daggers, we only had 13 total losses. It's pretty good. So what we're going to do now is I've been keeping Sadibor out in the area, and we're just going to cancel this praise of the neighbor. We don't need that. And what we're going to do is we are going to... Oh, we can't. Okay, so we have to spend time. Bring him over to spend time, and then we're also going to want to force these guys to join. Oh, okay, we can already do that. Alright, so we'll have... Should we have Siva try to join us first? Because they were forced into neutrality. So we'll try to have Siva join us first, and then we'll have Grudges, because they do have a little bit of a stronger army, and we don't really want them to consider... Well, actually, it looks like Grudges and Siva don't like each other. So it may actually be possible to just force Grudges into our alliance right away. Okay, and it seems that Sadibor is actually about to die. He does have approaching death, and he's actually, it says he's unable to move, but of course he can still move on the map, which I find hilarious. We'll see if that actually takes after he does this next action. But now there's going to be a struggle for the throne, apparently. So we're not going to do anything. It says they both desire the crown. I think Sadibor will just get it if Sadibor dies, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Maybe some kind of rebellion will happen. I'm not totally sure there. Alright, so we are trying to force Grudges now into vassalization. Did it? Oh, it took immediately. Okay. Cool. And now we just need to go over to Siva. He's unable to walk. They cannot be sent to... Okay, well, that's interesting. Okay, so we will have to finish this off once Sadibor gets back home. Now, as you can see, I have done a little bit of rearranging here in the village, and basically I put down another temple and another tavern because with the amount of people we have, 145, we need at minimum 3 temples, but I'm going to want a 4th because we're going to try to push this population up as much as possible, and we will need probably a minimum of 3 taverns, although I'm not sure if we necessarily have enough moonshine for all of it, but we'll just have to see. Now, another thing I did was I made this path, really ugly one, all the way down to this mine. I was too lazy to make anything that looks nice. It's something. It is something. And this way they can produce a little bit of iron, so that we can use that mostly for the temple, and we are trying to make another barracks as well. And otherwise we are going to probably try to make some extra peasant houses. I'm not sure how many we will need, but we'll just start the building on this now. Looks good. And another thing we're going to do, we're going to move this lumber mill out here. We're going to build probably like 2 or 3 more, because we're going to need more wood while we're doing these new constructions. I will move this out as well. Looks good. And we will make a path to it, because we're going to need this wood if we are going to try to push our population up, because we're going to need to build more houses. We're going to need to build this temple, which is 150 wood. We're going to need the tavern, and so because of all of that, we're also going to need more wood for our mine. Not this one, but this one. And I did also put workers back on this, because I don't want anybody to be unemployed at all, just in case, because that will probably lower the amount of migration we get. So we're going to see just how high we can push this population now, and that is probably going to be the way that we end this series, since I mean, I was hoping to at least take out Kenna, just because they're so strong. But I actually think that if they decided to attack us, they would attack us with just enough force that we would actually be able to defend against it. And honestly, I think they would probably just give up. And Callan is just... They're pretty strong, but they don't have enough warriors to really attack us. And looking at everything else, I mean, this is a pretty strong kingdom here, but I'm not too worried about it. And then, of course, these guys, they're separated by 2 abandoned cities, apparently. So I think ending this series off on a place where we just have a really strong alliance and just try to see how high we can push our population as farms makes a lot more sense than trying to take everything over. Now, another thing we're going to do, because everybody seems to be just buying rutabaga and not the meat, we're going to actually raise everybody's wages just a little bit. Hopefully this will make it so that they can buy meat a little more regularly. We don't want them even really buying rutabaga, if I'm honest. It's just, I'd rather use the rutabaga on more moonshine, or, of course, on the pig farms. So we're going to try that, see how that works. And at the same time, Sadibor is back home, but he can't move, so I'm pretty sure I can't actually pass the crown even if I wanted to. And this also means that he can't really manage anything. Luckily, we don't have him managing anything right now, but I'm just kind of... Oh, we're having a warrior abandon the city. Oh, that's because he was... Okay, he was one of the former bandits, so that's actually fine. He would have eventually abandoned anyways. We'll go ahead and add these guys in. Hopefully they don't try to abandon, but we will just have to see. And yeah, so far we're doing okay on the people. 153. Moods are mostly okay. Could be better. Mostly could be better on the warrior side, but that's just because they're in pain. So we'll just have to see how this goes over the next day or so. Now as well, I don't know if I mentioned this, but Grimless actually had another child. I think Vitamir is his, right? I don't remember. Is there a way to actually look? Yeah, Grimless. Yeah, okay. Vitamir and Osiramir are actually brothers, which is quite funny. So Grimless, he's been getting around in this village. Now, there's no one who can really teach him. I guess we could just have Vitamir do it. But there's obviously not really much of a point. He's not going to grow up during the series. Now we also have forest bandits in the area. We could go take that out. It'd be pretty easy. Is there any other forest bandits around? There does not seem to be. So we are just kind of waiting for Sadibor to die, as sad and kind of grotesque as that is. We are just waiting for him to finally die. 72 years old. That is pretty old. I don't know if I've seen a character get much older than this. Let's say 56, 61. Yeah, I think most people die before they... Oh, you can actually just see it right here. Okay, 62, 63. Yeah, I think 60s is pretty normal, but to be able to get to 70 is a little less likely, so we got pretty lucky. I don't know how this happened exactly. At the least, there doesn't seem to be any rulers who have gotten that old in this game so far. Either way, I think that's a pretty good age, and he managed to make it all the way through the series and everything, so we are probably going to attack this bandit camp, but we are going to wait, let everybody get well rested and everything, and we will do that shortly. Okay, I did just want to check out the trader just to see if this was actually accurate, and as you can see, 5,100. Even if we sell all of our medicals, even if we sell everything, let's just look how far away we would be. And we actually lost weapons, unless everybody's just carrying them. Yeah, look at this. This is just terrible. 3,400 we would still have to give. Wow. And even if we sell these books as well, that'll only really be another 1,000. So we would still owe 2,400. It's actually possible, if we sold every single thing, it would actually be possible to pay off this tax. And then I guess what we could do is send all of our loyalists back to peasantry, and then I guess we could get rid of some of our I don't see any way to do this to where we wouldn't lose all of our defense capabilities, and then we would probably end up collapsing. Oh, and there it is. Sadibor's died. He has died. He was inspired. He died inspired. That actually, that both makes sense and it also doesn't. He was so sad his whole life, and then he just dies inspired. He has hope for the future and everything, and Sadibor has risen to power. So I think this is probably getting close to the end for us. We are managing to gain some peasants though, so I'm just going to keep going until we stop having enough migration, and we'll just see how long that lasts for us. Okay, so now since we do have our new king, we'll go ahead and send him... Oh, we have a really terrible... Wow, that is a absolutely terrible relation here. I guess we could start a peace treaty. That will cost us 700, and we'll increase our relation by 20. Okay. That's an option. Restore relations would cost 16 rings. Why do we not have more rings? Sadibor had a ton of rings, I thought. Maybe they got stolen, or maybe you don't inherit those. That is really weird. Okay, well, we just have the 16 rings that we can give then. No actor. Oh, that's right. You need the diplomat trait. Yes, of course. Okay, we'll just pay them for a peace treaty, I suppose. I think that'll work because we basically surround them. So we'll send Sadibor to do that. And then we will try to spend time with them and see how long it takes to add them into our alliance. So here we finally have the grave for Sadibor. We're just going to place this right outside the hall so people can come and mourn his passing at any moment. Look at him, he looks glorious. May he rest in peace as a true ruler who fought for honor and justice. That is so true. He also he discovered a strong desire within himself. That was his last historic achievement. He was also, of course, known as the Wake Up because he would wake up at the earliest hours of the day, and he would just focus on bringing Zeroville to greatness, and that is, I believe that is what he did. I don't know about you guys. I think he achieved his dream, and this is the fruits of all of his labor. I mean, look at it. It's amazing. It's glorious, and good job to Sadibor for making it happen. Okay, and as you can see, this peace treaty went through. Now, I don't think we can invite them to our alliance now because of it. Maybe we can. I'm not totally sure. We'll offer to the king, and we can give them 7 medical cells, apparently. Now, we are going to go with the fertile king's ambitions. I doubt we can get to 187 people, but I think it looks like this counts our army as well. 84%. Okay. So we are currently at 159, so I think we might be able to do it. Okay, so by giving them that gift, and by also spending some time with them, I was able to up our relationship a good amount. So now, it appears you can invite them to an alliance if you have a peace treaty. You just can't force them into vassalage, even though they are both offers. I mean, I guess the offer vassalage is kind of considered an aggressive action, but you can just be like, hey, do you want to join? And I think what they should do for vassalage is make it so that you can actually decide on the contract, so you can decide, you know, do they need to give you a certain amount of tribute? Do they need to maybe send you some soldiers to your royal army, perhaps? Something kind of like that I think would be a lot better. They could take some inspiration from like Crusader Kings, but in general, I think that you should be able to actually decide the terms so that you can offer them favorable terms that they would actually be happy about. They can join into a nice kingdom that values them and everything. Now, apparently we got an army tax increase, but either way, now Siva is with us, so we have as big of a alliance as I can think to actually create. We could try to add Lucria in at some point, but I don't think that there's really any point to try again. Kenna is still quite powerful. Yeah, unless they ended up getting into a war, which I don't see happening because they're not bordering with anybody at the moment. This is probably as big as we can get. Okay, so due to our entry into the greater political arena and increased influence, the loving family believes you should contribute more for the security of roads. So the church is increasing our tax, which will now be 5 per unit of combat skill for each warrior, which was previously 3. Wow, that is incredible. So, hold on. 10,000 taxes. Wow, that is incredible. Now, another thing we're going to do, since our warriors are basically doing nothing else, we're just going to increase the amount of patrols. We're going to increase it to 35, 40? We'll just go 40. So there'll be just a ton. This is like a huge military presence. It's a military city now. And we will put the rest of them over here, I guess. So what, like 25? Probably fine. And a couple of them will... Actually, let's go down to 20. And then one person gets to have a day off. That's how it'll work. Now, unfortunately, we do have 8 unemployed, and it appears to be from these rutabaga fields that need to be repaired. So we'll go ahead and actually take these off a build first for the moment. We want these rutabaga fields to be working. Okay, hopefully they'll repair those because that should fix our jobs, hopefully. Come to think of it, there is a lot of wolves over here. So we're probably going to take this down by about 5 now. And we'll go army, make another day patrol, and we'll put it right about here, just so that any wolf activity that gets too close, there will be guards against that. Okay, so this camp has actually grown a little bit. We're going to go ahead and just go attack it now. Apparently, now that we have Sadibor, he has a good command skill, so he can bring... Okay, hold on. Maybe I should understand how this works. The number of units you can summon depends on your king's command skill. So for every 3 levels, you can summon one of these units. Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. I wonder if we could actually... So, hold on. We would probably want to bring these two. Not for this, but just in general. Maybe we could still take out Kenna. Maybe it'd be possible. That would be what? Wait, is this... This is a mount, right? And this is their average combat skill, right? So that would be an extra 15 soldiers with about a 10 average combat skill. I don't think that would be enough still. It might be enough to at least take out Lacria. But yes, I don't think there's any way we could actually take control of Kenna. So... we'll just leave it alone. We'll go ahead and go attack this. We don't even really need their help. We'll send Vitamir. And we'll send... We don't need these guys to go. They can just stay on patrols. Now, of course, we lost a lot of weapons. We actually lost a lot of weapons. Which is super unfortunate. I was hoping that we would gain weapons, but maybe we'll gain some from this bandit camp at least. Okay, so let's go into what may be our last actual battle. After this, I'll probably just auto-resolve. And we do have a tower we have to probably take out there. Yep. Okay. We'll just let Vitamir go in. If he dies, then it is probably fated to happen. Looks like he'll be alright, though. Yep. Okay, take out this tower. There we go. And that is that. We didn't really lose. We lost one person, okay. We'll see if that gets us any additional weapons, and there is another camp over here we could go take out. Okay, so it seems we did get a few extra weapons, not very many though. So we'll just go ahead and send them to attack this bandit camp, and we'll just auto-resolve that, so there's really no need to actually show you guys. This one has 2. Wow, a whole 2 bandits. Wonderful. So it seems we're actually just getting more unemployed. I don't know. Maybe he didn't inspect the hall? Is that what he's doing right now? Yes, looks like it. Okay, so we'll wait one more day, and if we don't see any improvement on this unemployment number, then we will probably just... Oh, we're being attacked by marauders as well. Interesting. Where are they coming from? Do we know? Probably from this mountain. Okay, so we'll take care of that, and we'll see what happens with our unemployment numbers as well. Now, while we wait for all of that, I figure we'll just talk about the future. And so, the next series, I don't want to spoil too much, but we have kind of talked about doing this in previous... Oh, hey, this was that prisoner that we ransomed, but they did not pay us or anything, so they just prayed for us. How nice of them. And we have a conflict with an ally. Serious disagreements with your ruler. Oh, okay. Let's say restore relations. Peace treaty? We could do a peace treaty with them. There's no real need not to. Okay, we'll do that. And so the next series will probably start, I'm going to say, expected at the beginning of next week, so maybe Monday or Tuesday of next week. And yeah, so it will be something that we have talked about a little bit in the past. So maybe you know, but I don't want to actually spoil what it actually is. However, it will also contain a little bit of a throwback to one of our previous series. If you have been watching for a while, then you may know what I'm talking about, but at the same time, you may not. So, yes, I do not want to actually spoil it, but it will be, I think, a very fun series and something that I have been looking forward to since I started playing the game. Otherwise, yes, that's pretty much the plan, and after that series, I think I will be taking a short break from Norland. I have been playing this for now about 5 months straight, and of course only, you know, a couple of hours every other day or so, something like that. So it's nothing too crazy, but at the same time, that is a lot of time to spend on one game. I don't know if I will go and play something else on the channel, or if I will just maybe do some more first impressions kinds of videos, or what. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. But otherwise, you can expect the compilation of this entire series in case you want to go and watch the whole series back just for nostalgia, or if you missed some episodes, maybe you want to watch the entire series from start to finish. But otherwise, we are just waiting still for this army to actually make it on over to this bandit camp, and for these marauders to actually get here as well. And actually, come to think of it, since it's right here, why don't we just attack them on the road? Let's do it. Okay, and so this will be our last actual battle, for reals this time. We'll go ahead and just run right on in. There's nothing special here. Wow, they do have those 4 axemen, but that's about it. Otherwise, it's mostly just bows. These guys are probably not going to be much of a challenge. There we go. Get over here. There we go. That is all she wrote. So I think that is where we're going to call it. Like I said, you can expect the next series in about a week, and you can expect the compilation series in the next day or two, probably 2 days. We still have all this unemployment, and honestly, I don't feel like dealing with it anymore. Yeah, they don't seem to be fixing all these rutabaga fields, and it will just take forever. Let's see, what is it saying our total population is? Yeah, we didn't barely increase it at all in this entire episode. I'm sure that I could just keep forcing it, keep making peasant houses and all those things, and focus more on just getting meat and more moonshine. Maybe if we had a better source of moonshine, which would require even more rutabaga fields. It just seems like a lot of hassle at this point, so that's where we're going to call it. So, as always, I thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you in the next series. All hail Sadibor.